Hey, you are tuned in to the Lick Show Hits 92.3 with your girl KELZ, and I have a very special guest in the building that is going to be talking about a free event tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some Airbnb, Mr. King Raphael Gentry. So we'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. You are now tuned in to Hits 92.3, where we take great pride in personal expression of one's feelings, thoughts, or ideals. What you're getting ready to hear on this show are the opinions of the hosts and their guests, and they do not reflect the opinions of Hits 92.3 radio station, the brand, management, staff, their respective advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. Now stay tuned as this show begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Said I have Mr. King Raphael Gentry in the building. Hey, sir.
Hey, Queen, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm blessed. I can't even complain. I'm here. I'm at the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. Super duper blessed too, because you are doing a free event. And before I even get into this event, ladies, I want y'all to tune in. But if you know any men 18 plus, so he said from 18 to 55, or was it 65?
55.
55. I said, oh, he's just talking about all men, period. So, ladies, tune in. But I already tried to see if I can get in free and try to see if I can sit off in the back somewhere. He was like, you're not going to pass for a man. And I just got really, really sad. So we can't go, ladies. But if you have a son, a nephew, a husband, anybody that wants to start a business, I'm going to let you introduce it and then we'll get into it.
Okay. Well, it is called the King's Blueprint. Start your business in the next 30 days. And it's for men. And the reason why is for men because we really got to get ourselves in order. So it is a part of our mission to make sure that men take a moment to get themselves in order and also walk in their authority. And what we do is we help people create their businesses so that they can do just that. And these businesses, we're hoping to help you to build generational wealth, because being a king is also about leaving a legacy behind, right? And there's a biblical principle there. You know, you should leave an inheritance for your seed, right? Your children's children. So this is what we're operating on, and this is why we're helping people to get to the next level in life. And this is why it's free. All right.
That's the key part is most people that, and I'm learning now that they say more money is made in training. So I was super shocked when you said you were doing it free. I'm like, what?
That's when you were trying to come in.
That's when I was trying to come in.
And I would love to do one for the ladies. We definitely going to do one for everybody. But like I said, you know, we got to get ourselves first.
I love that.
There's too many men out here walking blind with no purpose. A lot of us don't even know where we're going in our next 30 days of life. Some of us not even tomorrow. So this helps us get our house in order, right? And it starts from within, right? With our spirit, with our mindset. So we're going to be dropping some nuggets tomorrow, y'all, at ATL Plus Magazine. That's right there in Atlantic Station from 2 to 5. When y'all come up, y'all going to hear some wisdom. You're going to receive a blueprint on how to start your business in the next 30 days with links and step-by-step instructions. I mean, it can't get no simpler. We keeping it simple, like KISS, KISS, keeping it super simple. That's what we're doing tomorrow, y'all.
I love it. And so let me ask you this too, because I know you said you can get it to where you can start a business in 30 days. What if someone has a business, but it's not structured, or maybe it isn't set up right, or in a way that they can build business credit and things like that. But they started the business. They might have been doing it for maybe a year or two, and it's not even registered. Can they still come? And do you give the steps?
That's a great question. Yes, they can. They can still come. They will get the steps. I mean, this is a community effort. And a part of the community effort, I have some amazing panelists, some amazing experts that are going to be helping me coach you guys over the next 30 days. Okay. So we're going to make sure that you get the support that you need. So business owners who are already in business, please come. For example, I had a guy reach out to me yesterday, hit me with a perplexing question. He said, well, I own a valet trash company. Everything's done. I'm registered, but I can't get a complex. I can't get a contract. So sometimes these are questions that people can come forth and ask the panelists. And I have some brothers, some experts they are amazing in what they do. I mean, absolutely amazing. So y'all got to come out. My guy Dre Parker, he's a licensed finance coach. So he's going to be sharing with you some of his 7 steps to business success. He also has a podcast, and that podcast is called Lessons, Not Losses. And I love that name because there are no losses, right? Only lessons in this life. So he'll be there. Also, I have a good friend of mine, Deshaun Marks. He helps people find their own franchises, and he's a great business strategist, right? So I also have King Sharif James. He will be coming in. He does land acquisitions, and he also is spearheading an event called L.I.C.K, where he allows real estate people such as myself to come in at a high level and fellowship with other people. So when I tell you, also King Don's going to be in the building, who's a licensed broker. So when I tell you we got some powerhouses in the building, and what you're going to do is you're going to get an opportunity to meet and greet us and talk to us and ask the experts questions. And not only that, we're going to take you under our wing because it's definitely our goal to equip you with something for the next 30 days.
Oh, wow.
And in doing that, we're showing you brotherhood because we're holding you accountable. We're holding you to these weekly milestones. So at least by week 1, you should have searched your business name and created your LLC, right? So that's within week 1. And we're going to have a group call, and you're going to be able to ask the experts some more questions. Week 2, we're going to be dealing with management, right? Because you can't manage your finances, right? And if you haven't been trained. So we're doing that on week 2. So in every week, we're going to have a group call. You're going to be able to be coached. And this is all for free.
That's
and why are we
crazy.
giving back?
I love it. See, when you're blessed, you can bless others.
Amen.
You answered one of the questions that I was going to ask is, would they be able to ask different questions within the businesses that they want to do? So the fact that you said that he couldn't get a secure an apartment complex, and somebody will be able to assist them in the walks of doing that. So if somebody, like, the main question we always get here with the radio shows is how to get sponsorships and advertisements. So if somebody came from the radio station and wanted to build their radio career, that is something that someone would be able to assist with, is what you're saying?
That's a great question. So I have a slew of people who I've talked to about this who are ready to help. And there's some areas to where I may not be proficient in.
Okay.
My main area is Airbnb and rentals, right? Property rentals. But I do know other people who are working with this. Let me go ahead and do a little name drop here.
Okay.
So do y'all remember the hit show Martin? I have a good friend of mine, Carl Payne, that will also be one of the experts who's agreed to help with coaching. So people who are actually in Hollywood, who are in the industry, and can come in and help and assist on those type of questions. So I kind of thought about different coaches that can cover different areas. And also, I do want to say, since we're all been in business for a very long time, a lot of times we find that a lot of businesses have the same issues, right? And sometimes it's not a cash flow issue, right? Sometimes it's just a strategy issue. So we're here to help you strategize, and we're here to help you get the answer, right? And I will tell you this, I'm definitely going to be teaching people about how to use ChatGPT a little more efficiently, because ChatGPT can answer a lot of these questions and give you an expert perspective if you know how to use this tool properly.
And shout out to our engineer, Sunshine. Oh my gosh, she's been trying to
Sunshine.
get me on Chat GPT, and I feel like the little grandma in the room. Like, all this new stuff, I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, Sunshine, can you ask Chat GPT for XYZ? So one day she's gonna be like, look, I'm just gonna sit you down and you're gonna learn this yourself. I literally have never in life used Chat GPT
Oh
as a
my
business owner.
gosh. You have to. Like it's your homie. I do too. I tell it please and thank you, just in case if it goes sentient, right? Come on now. I talk to it because when I tell you, in this day and age that we live in, it's a must. Even if you're not big on technology, you have to use it, because what's going to happen is you will be left behind.
Yes.
Because what's happening is what an average person could complete in one day, ChatGPT can do in 1 minute.
Wow.
In 1 minute. So you can actually, for business owners, you can actually create a business plan. So let me ask you this, Kel. So what business would you like to go on? What would be your business?
Radio, of course.
Right, radio, of course. So would you want to own your own station?
Yes.
So all you would do is I would ask ChatGPT to take on take on the mindset of a Kathy Hughes. celebrities, right? Or a
Mm-hmm.
big radio mogul, and I would like to own my own radio station one day.
Mm-hmm.
What are the next steps that I need to make to accomplish this? And then what ChatGPT will do, it'll go through its quantum computing, and it'll pull up so much different information and give you step by steps on what you need to do and what position you need to be in. And then from there, you start, that's your skeleton. And then you start just building it out, asking it very
That's
direct,
crazy.
specific questions. When I tell you, spits the information out so quick, you can have a formalized business plan that you can take to a bank in one day. In one day. So ChatGPT is not to be played with. And there's so much more that you can do. I'm just saying business plans, but you can write movie scripts. You can help it balance your budget. I started using it for the stock market to find the hottest stocks with the highest volume. I use it for everything. And if you're not, you will be left behind. I promise you. We gotta get on it.
I gotta get on
Gotta
it.
get on it.
That
Be lost in the sauce.
Right.
Say.
And I don't want to be lost in the sauce. And I
don't.
feel like right now I am lost in the sauce. Podcast has been taking, I'm not gonna say taking over. Podcast has been in the running with radio for maybe the last 2 to 5 years. And so it's competition. And so you just got to stay ahead of the competition. And I'm just trying to figure out what is a need in radio that would bring it back this way. So it's like a ping pong right now between radio and podcasting right now.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think one of the main things that would help to bring radio back is authenticity. Because if you operate in that spirit, that's what people gravitate to and connect to. They feel your spirit when they feel like they know you when they walk up to you in the morning. They don't know you, but you've been so personable and made a strong connection with them. And I think that's one thing that maybe a lot of podcasts, because they don't have that level of fame, or they might not even have many viewers, so they're more comfortable. They're a lot of times very authentic. So I think if we can bring that over to the radio and make people feel like, you they home girl and everything like that, I think just that alone changes the climate.
I agree too. So one of the things you did mention is the money part of businesses. Do you help them to set up for business credit and the growth within that?
That is a great question. So what we're doing within the first 30 days is making sure that everybody has the mindset first.
Okay.
Right. And then we making sure that they understand their identity. And then after that, we're getting into management, financial management. And then we're going to execution phase. Now, within those first 30 days, we may not have people, of course, seeking credit. But one thing, what you will find within the blueprint, I'm providing resources to help you find business credit and people that can help. And I also have personal resources that I want to connect people with. So it's also about networking and allocating resources together. So we got a group of brothers to where in areas where I may not have somebody for you, one of my other panelists will. So we definitely have a person for a business credit who I would love to refer people to get their business credit right and get their business funded. So that's why setting up your business appropriately in the beginning is so important, because if you don't, you can't get it funded. And then you have to go back and start all over. So this is why we're structuring your business correct the first way.
When I say I am so excited about this event that I can't even go to, but I just love the fact that even your reasoning of why it's only for men is to make sure that the kings of their castles are in order. Yeah. That was all you had to say. You didn't even have to explain nothing else as to why the women can't come, because the men need to make sure they have themselves in order before they go take care of themselves, before they can go and take care of a woman or kids, or like to even be able to leave a legacy. So I do love the fact that you said that.
Agreed. I like to think of it like when you're on an airplane and they always tell you in case of emergency, these air masks will come down, and you got to put it on yourself first before you can help anybody else. And as a man, there's so much on our shoulders, right? The family, your job, your career, your children, paying all the bills, the mortgage. Well, if you're a real man, you're paying all the bills, right? So these three presidents are like, now, but
let me get in your camera.
Come on. I mean, kings, that's what we're expected to do as kings, so that the people who follow us, that the queens who follow us can support us 100%, so they're not taking on any of your duties, right? So as kings, it's expected us to have multiple revenue streams, not just one job,
Not
right?
just one.
And as a king, it's expected of us to have a strong prayer life and a communication with God, because without God, it's death in disguise. And
Come
you
on,
must
sir.
know as a king that you got to be connected to your source, which will always provide for you, which is God. So that's why once you start getting that mindset, because I know personally for myself, I don't care how down I've gotten, I've been down, I've been facing some things, right? Because I have a lot of bills and a lot of properties and different things to manage. And sometimes a storm can come in, but your mindset has to be on the point that if I set my sight on God and my faith on God, right? Nothing can change that. God will always provide, and He always has, no matter how dark it's gotten. So that's why I believe in a certain principle, like it's called ABC. It's ABC for me. So the A is ask. You ask when you're in communication with God. You ask for what you want, right? As long as you standing up righteously, you ask for what you want, and then after you've asked, you better believe it. That's the B. You have to believe that you're going to get it, because if you don't believe or feel that you're going to get it, it's not going to happen. Because a lot of times we talk ourselves out of it. We have self-doubt. We have self-doubt, right? And we have double talk. That ain't going to happen for me. But if you truly believe it can, it will, because the universe will conspire every single thing to make it align in your life. In your life. So believe that it can happen, and it will happen. And sometimes once you believe and you operate in your power and operate in your principle and you connect with your brothers, find yourself in rooms amongst great people that you didn't expect to be in. For example, look where I'm at now, and next to KELZ. And it happened just because of me communicating with somebody who, Tony, who I've been working with for a very long time, who I got a lot of respect for, make sure I
Me
take
too.
good care of. It's a good brother. So I wanted to share this with him, and he connected us.
Yes.
And that was just organic, divine. So I believe things like that are supposed to happen in my life. So if you don't believe that it can happen to you, you limit yourself. So believe that you can create the next Fortune 500 business. Believe that you are him, right? And that you can be. And once you believe it, and once you truly believe it, the C is claim it. Because once you know it's coming, you claim it. So once you claimed it, just know that it's coming, and you shall have it.
Oh,
I have
ask, believe, and claim.
That's it.
I have a question because I'm not a boy, so I can't go.
Okay.
What would you tell people who keep continuously hearing that everybody's broke right now? Nobody has a job. There's no money out there right now. Everybody is going through something, especially if you have a service job or if you have a type of business that is dependent on customer service and customers having disposable income, not things that are necessary like bills and stuff, but you have a disposable product that's usually the first luxury that people get rid of. I'm a hairstylist by trade, so I know the game. What would you say to those people? We're in a recession.
We hear that a lot, and because it's true, a lot of people out here are hurting. They're feeling the economy, right? Look at the gas prices. I mean, that's a war against your pockets to be paying $4 a gallon. And look at rent prices just in Atlanta alone, which are some of the highest in the country. So a lot of us don't have it. A lot of us can't even go borrow $500 from anyone when you truly need it, right? What I will say to people that way, you whatever you think is exactly what you attract. If you think you're broke, you will be broke, because the universe is going to conspire to give you what you believe, right? So you got to understand that how powerful your words are. Your words summons. Y'all caught that? Your words actually summons what you want in your reality. You have as we talk about the sexes, sometimes men may say, man, it ain't no good women out here. Well, guess what? You only gonna run into no good women. And for the women out here who think that all men cheat, guess who your next man's gonna be? Surprise! He's gonna be a cheater, right? He's gonna be just what you believe, right? So the universe and God gives you what you ask for. So we have to change our heart posture and change our mindset first. That's why that's so important. We change that mindset, income will flow. So I'm telling kings to grab order, right? Grab some order, grab some discipline. Find that one thing that you can be disciplined at every single day. Because one thing I do know, if you can wake up and you can win the minute, then guess what? You can win the hour.
Oh, I love that.
And if you can just win the hour being disciplined in that one thing that it is that you are called to do according to your purpose, then you can win the day. And if you win the day, you can win the week. And if you win the week, you can win the year. And that's what it's about. But you can't do it if you're not disciplined and you don't know your direction in life. So this is why we're coming together to help you find it, because everybody doesn't know it. Everybody, some people come to, only have one job, and that's how can I do better in life? But we're here to train you that you're supposed to have multiple income streams. You have a story. What about your book? You have a talent. You're probably not in the studio, right? There's so many things. What about the stock market? You're good with numbers. There's so many revenues of income that people could be earning, but they mentally say, I'm broke and it's hard out here and it won't come.
Where were you like 3 years ago in my? I'm gonna get Tony. Me and Tony. I was about to fight you because you was hitting me left and right. I'm like, oh, he talking about me. Oh, he talking about me. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down. No. Yeah, I'm gonna get Tony. Tony, if you listening and watching,
and that's for anybody. If anybody feels like they're getting hit, that ain't nothing but your spirit.
It is. You telling me what I already know.
You
that
already know
confirmation.
This. So this is confirmation that we're giving.
Absolutely.
Now we're gonna give people something to attach to their confirmation, a real blueprint, something that they can hold to give them guidance.
Yes.
And within it is also reflection questions. So you can ask yourself, who are you financially, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do so it's just different things that brothers can have to help guide themselves. So we all need guidance. Even myself, I need mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always love to seek things like that. So we're opening up mentorship for anybody, all the men who want it. And after that, we're going to open it up for everybody once we get our house in order, Kings. So we can lead.
I love it. And then I'm coming in on the women's side. We've already talked.
Yes.
So one thing I do want to say, with me having an old school mentality that I need to change, is I've always heard of master of many is a master of none. When I said I needed you 3 years ago, I tried to combine everything and make everything in one building so that I wouldn't have so many different streams and different thought process of where my mind needed to go. I had an event space, I had the radio station, I had a dance studio over here, and I was like, girl, you're doing too much. Close all that stuff down and just focus on radio. But I need more money.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe that wasn't the right decision. And so I'm thinking with people that have my mindset, it's feeling like having multiple streams is not the way, but you're saying multiple streams is the way.
Because you always want to support yourself. If some of us have jobs out there and you lose your job, most average Americans don't even have 3 months of income saved up.
Okay.
So what do you do? So we gotta be able to be independent from this system that many of us rely on.
Okay.
And I think back then you were in the right space. I do think you needed some chat GPT, but
I did.
Need a little chat GPT help. But I think your mindset was in the right place because you want all of your gifts and passions to work for you, and you want them to flow seamlessly. Everything should be a complement to everything else.
That was the next question.
Everything should be a complement. Like one of my strong points is teaching. So now I'm in real estate. So now I'm combining it with the coaching. I'm combining teaching. So I'm combining things. That's what you were thinking. And sometimes we just need some help. Sometimes we can't do everything by ourselves. We need that personnel, right? So personnel and who's on your team is very, very important, because I understand about being a one-man show, because I've been that for a very long time. But I know when you're trying to grow and expand, it takes others. Because if you want to go fast, you go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you take somebody else with you.
Yeah, this is my right and my left hand right here.
All right, sunshine.
So like, if this ship be going down, I'd be like, girl, save yourself. And she'd be like, going down with the ship with me. I'm like, save it, get this, girl, if you don't get this float.
But that's a real friend. That's what you need.
Yeah, she's like, girl, we got this. We got what we need to do next. And she'd be ready. So everybody doesn't have a sunshine. And so everyone should get a sunshine.
Yes. And cherish your sunshine.
Absolutely.
Right. I
What you
hope
about
y'all
to say?
listening. Somebody not cherishing their sunshine. You better listen. Make sure
What
you
you
get
about
it.
to say?
Make sure you get at least 4 hours of sunshine a day. It's good for you. That's your PSA announcement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You getting that part?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I need that win the minute. I literally want to get that tattooed on me. So I get this because sometimes I take myself for granted.
Okay.
And so I have a tattoo that says I love me.
Ah.
But when I say I take myself for granted is I am a people pleaser. So I want to make sure everybody else is good. Once everybody else is good, then I focus on me. So sometimes I don't defend myself. So everybody's like, "Why'd you get it pointed the opposite way?" I was like, "Because I know I love me. I need you to know I love me too, so you don't take advantage of me." So when people see it, you read this because I know. So I feel like there's a lot of things that we need to focus on, and that is one of the major things is taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
We don't do enough of
Self-love.
that. Yeah.
Self-love is truly the best love. So just to compliment what you said, one of my names is King, but another one of my names is Love. I am love. And the reason why I say that is because that is the frequency that I want to match.
Okay.
So not only do I say it, I surround myself with it. I write it on everything. If water comes in the house, I write love on it. If food comes in the house, I write love on it. And there's a reason why. It's the strangest secret. It's the strangest secret. What I did years ago that changed my life, and I don't tell everybody this, but you special, so I got you. I'm gonna let this out. I did an experiment where I took some rice and I put it in 3 visible containers, 3 see-through containers, right?
Okay.
So the first container represented the independent variable. The second container represented the dependent variable, and the third container of rice represented the control variable. So this is my scientist coming out here. So after I strained the water and put all 3 in, I wrote, "I love you" on one rice, and I wrote, "I hate you" on the other rice. And for the next, and the third was the control. I did nothing. So for the next 30 days, I went into the kitchen. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this. Went to the kitchen and wrote, "I love you. I'm so appreciative for you," to the one that I loved. And the one that I hated, I picked it up and said, "I can't stand you, you stupid, dumb, and ugly rice," and I threw it down.
Okay.
Did this every day. Now, after 2 weeks, I started to notice some difference. What you think I saw in 2 weeks, maybe?
Maybe the one you hated rotted out a little bit.
Slightly. It started to rot. After a month, there was more mold on it. And the control variable started having some mold on it. But the one I love, no mold. So I decided to keep the experiment going. And this changed the way I saw life. What happened in 1 year time, the control variable turned into a black liquid. The dependent variable, which was the one that I hated, turned into a black liquid. It was just black water. The rice that I loved was perfect as I cooked it that same day. And I can't make this up. This was over a year. So ever since I saw that, I said, you know what? I'm that. I am love. I want to be everlasting. I want to be forever. So I assimilated myself with love. So that's cool that you making sure the world knows that you love you and how everybody should treat you, because I feel like you will actually live longer embracing the frequency of love.
Look, can we?
Yes.
So speaking on multiple streams of income, you also have multiple streams. I know you briefly mentioned real estate. You want to talk a little bit about the Airbnbs?
Yes, I would love to. So I'm gonna tell you just quickly how I got started. I took a transformative trip to Cuba in like 2018, and when I went out there, and that was when I stayed in my first Airbnb, the amount I paid them for 1 week, I know I paid this man's mortgage.
Okay.
Or if not, for 2 months.
With the taxes and the cleaning fees.
So
it'd be way
that,
more than
I
the
said,
booking.
you know what? I'm getting into business. So I got in, and you all don't be discouraged when you get in. I got in, with an apartment complex. I got evicted at first for doing it. This was earlier in the days. But then after getting evictions, I learned corporate housing. So I got some knowledge. So when I learned corporate housing, that taught me that I can do this under my company, under my business. That's why it's so important to have an LLC and an EIN number.
Okay.
So I was able to use my LLC, my EIN number, and my Dun & Bradstreet number to get a corporate to get a corporate unit. I got a corporate unit out in Atlantic Station. The rest is history. After that, I started, 4 apartments. I played Monopoly. I named all my properties after Monopoly pieces, even Mediterranean and Baltic. I had that in the hood next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right? I had New York and St. John's down the street from there. So I played it like it was a board. So I had properties here on Northside Drive, going all the way down Northside Drive, around the corner up to Atlantic Station, all the way out to, so I kind of made it like a board. Had them out in Buckhead and everything, and I named them after Monopoly pieces.
Okay.
And after 4 properties, what I did was I bought my first investment house, filed my taxes, and bought my investment property. I got it in a neighborhood with no HOA.
Okay.
That made me king. I can do what I want. I can rent it out. Even if the neighbors complain, they can't do anything because there's no HOA. So that gave me a lot more control as I purchased. And I love purchasing because what that does for you, it gives you ownership. Not only are you getting rental money, but you're also building equity over the years. And those are the things that we don't think about, which is so important to have. So just current day, I have properties in Atlanta and Miami. I got into a hotel deal in Miami, which is at the Gale Hotel. So if anybody's looking for a nice vacation, rooftop pool on the 9th floor, have a hotel condo right downtown Miami. And it is fabulous. I mean, the view from the 45th floor is a $1 million view. And I do want to say, by the time, I got in off the plans, so I got in at a cheaper price. But over the years, when it was ready, I had, in that one unit alone, in 3 years, I had built over $400,000 in equity.
Ooh.
And why? Because of the location, right? So real estate is one thing that's real. And I advise everybody to get into it, because I feel that there's going to be a time when the economy may shift and things may not be as real or as good as they once were. So my advice to everybody is focus on things that God created, and you can't go wrong. Real estate is real. They're not making any more land. Precious metals, right? What if the dollar collapses, right? Precious metals. I bought gold 2 years ago at $1,600 for 1 ounce. Today it's worth $3,300 per ounce. So precious metals will always be good. Natural gas, oil, anything that God made will always be okay. So I just want to give y'all that thought frame.
I love it. So you mentioned before we got on air as to Airbnbs that you don't own. I want to make sure I get that correct.
Yes. So
because I'm like, I need to write this down.
That is called rental arbitrage.
Okay.
And basically rental arbitrage is where you go, let's say if you call up one of your friends and you know that this particular friend, let's say that they work a lot, they're president of their company, so they travel 3 weeks out the month, or they're never even there. They just have a home that they don't use. So you can actually reach out to them and tell them, hey, I know you're not at home a lot. How would you like to, earn some income to help cover your mortgage while you stay back and do absolutely nothing? I will manage the property professionally, and make sure I'm covering all the hosts, making sure the guests are checked in and out. And this is how you form a relationship with people to earn additional income where they don't have to do anything, and you don't have to own the property. And the reason why that's a win-win, because when you own properties, you have expenses. You have the mortgage, right. You have the lights, you have the Wi-Fi and internet, you have gas, you even have lawn. But when you do rental arbitrage, you don't pay any of those bills. And all you're doing is taking a percentage of each booking that you give to your host. So you're taking a percentage of each booking. So generally my fee is like 20% per every booking that I bring in. And I rent properties out. I rent a lot of mansions out. So a lot of people rent pools out from me. So they rent a mansion out so they can have a pool party. So I've been known for doing those a lot.
Okay.
Yep. So all these mansion owners, I rent out to them. I have a few celebrity clients who I help them pay their mortgage.
I love that. And I keep saying I want to finish my basement so that I can put that on Airbnb.
Yes.
That's possible to do too, right? You just let them know that you live upstairs.
That's called,
how does that go?
That would be called a shared unit.
Okay.
So all you have, Airbnb does allow for shared units where the owner can live upstairs and the other guests have, occupancy downstairs, and they'll just ask you some questions. But as long as it's noted as a shared unit, then yes, you can absolutely do it. And that's how you live rent free.
And that is how you exactly.
That's that part.
I was talking to one of my friends. Well, not talking to. He actually did this, and then two of my friends fell out with each other because of this. He and his wife bought a condo. They moved in one side, and my homegirl and her family moved in on the other side. And within a couple of years, they were able to pay it off. And so he made a post about it on Facebook, and they're like, "How did you pay it off?" He was like, "Well, we lived in one side. We still paid the mortgage as if we were paying, but the tenants that were," he didn't say their names. He was like, "The tenants that lived next door also paid the mortgage." And she felt like he used her. And I was like, "Well, that's kind of what ownership is. If you had your own, you could do whatever you want to do." I said, "If it wasn't you living in it, somebody else would have had that same exact story."
Exactly. I mean, and as the person who was leasing, I understand, but the owner moved as a boss.
Exactly.
And that's what they're supposed to do, right? And none of us really think about how much money that we put so much money into rent that you could actually own the building that the unit that you're there. If you're there for 5 years, you could have bought it. But then when it's time to go or you get evicted, you've paid over $200,000 in rent, but you don't own anything, or can you give it to your children? So living like a boss and doing boss stuff like, hey, I live here, you pay the mortgage, you got a place to stay.
You got a place
I'm living for free. It works out for everybody. You had a place to stay, didn't you? Right. So I don't know what they fussing about, but
exactly.
The owner made a boss move. Kudos to the owner.
Kudos to them.
Yep.
All right, is there anything else you want to touch on? And also, I don't think did you give the address or how to even register for tomorrow?
Right. So you can find this on Eventbrite, and it's called the King's Blueprint. How to start your business in the next 30 days. So again, that's the King's Blueprint, how to start your business in the next 30 days. You can find it on Eventbrite. The event will be held this Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. inside Atlantic Station, and it's at ATL Plus Magazine. And the address, I'm going to give you the next address over because it's one of my properties out there. So it is 265 18th Street. If you come there, 265 18th Street, you will find ATL Plus Magazine. We'll have some balloons out, and you can just ask if you get lost on where it is. And if you need to reach me, you know what? I will give out my Instagram. So please reach out to me at ATLBNB King. Again, that's ATLBNB King, and I will answer all questions. I will send you the link there. You can go online and register for this free, absolutely free event, and we're going to be carrying you for the next 30 days. That's what kings do.
That is what kings do. And I love you, King. Shout out to you,
Queen. Thank you for having me. This is amazing. I know God is all in this. That's all I can say. God is in
Look, I got so many things I want to edit too, because you were speaking directly to me. So I can just imagine how an 18-year-old guy, I won't say boy because he ain't a boy anymore, how an 18-year-old young man plus, anyone older is going to feel once they leave tomorrow and be excited for the next 30 days and beyond working with you all. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's truly my pleasure to serve and give back and create other kings. I want to be a king builder.
King builder.
Create other kings so they can take care of these queens out here, right?
Yeah. And thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate this.
Yes. So again, y'all are tuned in to the L.I.C.K Show with your girl KELZ on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. Shout out to my girl Sunshine with the flagship show here at Hits 92.3. All hustle, no fear, every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. It is Friday. We getting out of here. I'm about to go get me something to eat. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace.
Yo.